بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So what does the word Qur'an in itself actually mean? Well, this is a bit technical, but for those of you who study Arabic, Qur'an is actually a masdar, a verbal noun, a gerund of the verb قرأ يقرأ, قراءة وقرآنا. So Qur'an is actually a masdar, a gerund, a verbal noun, just as qira'ah is. And it later became an ism from a masdar. But in short, what the word Qur'an originally refers to is not qira'ah in terms of reading. Rather, it refers to something which is publicly recited in a ritual manner, repeatedly. And that's best understood from the verse of the Qur'an in which Allah says, وَقُرْآنًا فَرَقْنَاهُ لِتَقْرَأُهُ عَلَى النَّاسِ عَلَى مُكْثٍ. And a Qur'an which we have divided into what? Into different portions to be recited on different occasions. وَقُرْآنًا فَرَقْنَاهُ, and a book which we have divided. لِتَقْرَأُهُ عَلَى النَّاسِ, so that you, O Prophet of Allah, may read it, the book, the Qur'an, to the people, publicly. عَلَى مُكْثٍ, with pause, with hesitation, meaning very deliberately, in portions, so that the message is delivered. So Qur'an actually does not mean reading per se, it means a ritual recital, which is repeated and in a very public congregational manner, similar to hymns in a congregational act of worship, similar to ritual readings of other scriptures, which again are done in places of worship in a public manner in congregation. And these are divided on a weekly, monthly, annual basis, or periodically they are divided into different portions. So the people, weekly sermons for instance, but the weekly sermons, not the public sermon of a preacher, but rather the actual passages that are read. In a similar manner, this is what Qur'an actually refers to. It's only later that the word Qur'an began to be used in a much wider sense as we understand it today. But originally, this is the meaning of Qur'an. Now, why do I say this? The very reason for saying this is that the word Qur'an itself speaks about repetition, about ritual reading. That's what the Qur'an means. So more than just simply a book of information, more than just simply a book that provides new information on each occasion, the Qur'an's original purpose is a public ritual recitation as a reminder for people, something which is repeated again and again and again. And the best example of the Qur'an is Surah al-Fatiha, of which the ulama have said that in essence, Surah al-Fatiha, being the first surah of the Qur'an, is actually a summary and a microcosm of the entire Qur'an. Everything which the Qur'an contains is more or less summarized in Surah al-Fatiha. And how many times and how often do we recite Surah al-Fatiha? In every rak'ah of every single salah, every single day, repeatedly. And so the purpose of the shorter surahs is the same. We recite them regularly in salah. But it's not simply a matter of recitation. We should be reciting with reflection, with understanding, and reminding ourselves, not just of the words, but of the actual meaning and message of these words that we recite repeatedly as a Qur'an in our everyday lives.